In this latest science fiction book review video, we will take a detailed look at Iain M. Popular Culture Series 10th edition, the novel The Hydrogen Sonata. The conclusion of this series holds great significance, as it is an irrevocable testament to the late Iain M. literary legacy. Regrettably, his untimely passing on June 9, 2013, following his announcement of a terminal gallbladder cancer diagnosis merely 2 months prior, cemented this ending as a poignant reminder of his enduring contribution to the world of literature. Iain M. died at the age of 59 in Kirkcaldy, Fife, Scotland. The Hydrogen Sonata was published in the year 2012, only 2 years after its predecessor, Surface Detail, and these two novels together with Matter constitute the final third of the Culture series. With a page count of 517, the Hydrogen Sonata is in the top 3 in terms of length when compared to the other novels of the series. Incidentally, Surface Detail and Matter are the only other novels that surpass it in page count. In terms of its scientific soundness and overall score on the Sci-Fi Mo scale, the Hydrogen Sonata continues the trends set forth by its predecessors by exhibiting a plot that is full with technological and scientific marvels, thus having to be categorized as soft science fiction. Once more, Iain M. world building and the scale of his literary universe shine in the Hydrogen Sonata, adding further civilizations and locations to the Culture universe, but also providing new insights regarding the history and origin of the eponymous post-scarcity society that is central to the series. In the same vein, the Hydrogen Sonata introduces the reader to a slew of original, unique and intriguing ideas and concepts, which is typical for the entire Culture series. The number of factions, protagonists, main and side characters in the Hydrogen Sonata is noticeably larger than usual for a Culture novel, which is a trend that we could already observe in Surface Detail. In terms of critical reception, the Hydrogen Sonata was in total nominated 4 times, namely for the Goodreads Choice Award for Science Fiction in 2012, the Locus Award for Science Fiction and the John W. Campbell Memorial Award in the year 2013 and the Kurt Laswitz Preis für Bestes Ausländisches Werk or Best Foreign Work in 2015. However, it did not win any of these awards. In contrast to the rather meager outcome in the awards season, the popular reception of the Hydrogen Sonata at a combined score of 4.2 out of 5 stars based on thousands of Goodreads, Library Thing and Amazon reviews is nothing to scoff at and places this novel at the upper half of the Culture series. Currently, there are no plans or news related to any adaptation of the Hydrogen Sonata for the big screen, TV or streaming services. The story of the Hydrogen Sonata takes place in the 24th century AD, thus roughly 1 or 2 centuries after the events recounted in Look to Windward. Now that we have gone through all novels that comprise the Culture series and have positioned them on the timeline, at least if at all possible, we can rearrange the novels into their chronological order. There are certainly some changes, but this chronological order of novels could also serve as a potential way to read the Culture series. The only major question remaining would be when exactly to read the novel in versions, since this is the odd one out with no explicit time frame given. Although I would probably assume that it does not take place after Surface Detail, but this is just a guess from my part. The plot of the novel The Hydrogen Sonata takes place during an important time of the Gzilt, since their civilization is on the brink of sublimation, which is the process of leaving the physical universe and transcending to higher dimensions. Before the Gzilt depart, the Gidran remnant, a species that sublimed before the formation of the Culture, sends an envoy to confess a long-kept secret. However, a Gzilt warship intercepts and destroys their ship to preserve this secret. Meanwhile, the culture, who has been on good terms with the Gzilt, sends ships to wish them well and to keep an eye on the younger species arriving to scavenge the technology and infrastructure the Gzilt will leave behind after their sublimation. During all of these events, Vir Kossond, a former lieutenant commander of the Gzilt, sets herself a life task of playing T.C. Villabier's 26 string-specific sonata for an instrument yet to be invented, the so-called Hydrogen Sonata, on the antagonistic undeccagon string, an 11-string instrument for which she had to grow 2 additional arms to even be able to play it. However, when Kossond inadvertently discovers the secret that the Gzilt had been hiding, she becomes embroiled in a dangerous game of espionage and must retrieve the memories of a culture citizen who can verify the uncomfortable truth. In my view, the Hydrogen Sonata is a culture novel that deviates a bit from the tone of other novels in the series by adopting a more light-hearted and at times even absurd approach. The introduction of the antagonistic undeccagon string, an instrument that is as difficult to play as it is to pronounce, is a prime example of the book's playful tone, which as a plot point would easily fit into Douglas Adams' Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. However, while the novel may be more light-hearted, it still poses thought-provoking questions about the self-image and organization of civilizations. It contrasts a militarily organized society that has grown quote-unquote soft over the years, the Gzilt, with a culture which sports a distinctly civilian image but has grown quote-unquote hard during the Idirian Culture War and subsequent conflicts. Furthermore, the book also explores the concept of societal evolution in a post-scarcity, technologically advanced civilization, specifically the idea of sublimation and transcendence. While not a new concept in science fiction, as authors such as Arthur C. Clarke, Dan Simmons and Peter F. Hamilton have also explored the idea, Iain M. Banks adds his own perspective to this conversation. Specifically, the scavenging younger civilizations that might need to be reined in a bit by more advanced, older civilizations are a somewhat unique feature that other authors have not explored to this extent. Finally, the novel also tackles the question whether certain fundamental secrets are better kept under wraps, even if this necessitates the use of force, or whether it is better to always uncover the truth. Overall, the Hydrogen Sonata is a captivating book with memorable concepts, interesting characters and a unique setting. It is a worthy final entry to the Culture series, even though it was in all likelihood not intended and written as a finale to the entire series. With the Culture, Iain M. Banks has certainly created a science fiction series that has become a classic and will likely stand the test of time. And yes, that last statement can be understood as an endorsement from my part. If you liked this video, you may also enjoy the other reviews and content on my channel. Feel free to leave a comment if you want to discuss the novels or if you want to suggest other books that I should review in the future. Please consider upvoting and subscribing, it is much appreciated. Thank you for watching and until next time.